The movie starts in the city of Mombasa in Kenya is experiencing a developing hostage situation. Marine Ray Garrison conducts a raid on the complex in which the criminals are hiding out and takes each one of them out one by one before confronting the chief adversary. Ray must bring his weapon down to his side because he is now aiming it at the hostage. In order to free the hostage, he lures the target into moving his rifle so that he may grab his handgun and shoot at him. This allows him to free the captive. When Ray returns to his house, she is there to greet him. They take pleasure in spending the evening together in solitude before being surprised by intruders later on. After one of the intruders, Martin Axe, uses a tranquilizer to knock Ray out, Ray awakens and makes an effort to fight off the other intruders. Later on, while Axe is pondering the identity of the one who informed him about the situation in Mombasa, Ray comes to while he is still restrained to the chair. When Axe brings out a captured Gina to put pressure on Ray to provide an explanation, Ray maintains that he is unaware of the situation and doesn't know what's going on. Gina is shot in the head with a nail gun by Axe, while Ray insists that he has no knowledge what's going on. Following Ray's resignation and Axe's suggestion that they simply execute him, Ray seems to be shot in the face by Axe. Ray comes to a facility that is used for testing by the company RST. He is made acquainted with the physician and his assistant. Ray learns from Harding that even though he was killed, his body was stuffed with tiny microbots known as nanites, which allowed it to recover from severe wounds. Harding relays this information to Ray. During the time that Harding is showing Ray other soldiers who have RST implants or prosthetics, such as Tibbs, who has an implant that allows him to see everything at once, and Jimmy Dalton, who uses prosthetic legs, KT is getting her own transplant that will assist her in breathing. Jimmy Dalton has prosthetic legs. When Ray puts his new body to the test, he finds out that he not only has a new body, but also possesses superhuman abilities. Ray has a conversation with KT, who is aware of his sentiments of overwhelm brought on by all of these recent revelations and the fact that he does not have a family that is willing to embrace his body. When Ray and Gina are enjoying a drink together, the song "Psycho Killer" by Talking Heads is playing in the background. As a result, Ray is brought back to the time when Axe murdered him and Gina because the song was playing in the background when he was interrogating them. He is beginning to lose his mind, so he utilizes his skill to break into a computer system in order to uncover Axe's location before going to find him. Although Harding makes an effort to thwart Ray, the latter is already on his way to find Axe. He meets Axe and his men in the tunnel where they are hiding and engages them in combat, even after sustaining terrible gunshot wounds during the conflict. Axe acknowledges Ray and begs for his life, but Ray is unmoved and shoots Axe to death. Axe's death is a direct result of Ray's actions. In the morning, Ray makes his way to a specific spot in order to be picked up by KT, Dalton, and Tibbs. After bringing him back to RST and tying him up on a bed, Dalton comes in to irritate him and make the ludicrous claim that Gina isn't actually dead. Ray is knocked out, and Harding makes arrangements for every element, including the hostage crisis and Ray's capture, to be reenacted in a new way because the entire scenario was a fabrication. Ray's capture also takes place in a different manner. They begin performing according to a slightly altered screenplay, but they replace Axe's face with Nick Barry's so that he may play the role of the captor. KT is the only person who disagrees with the idea because she is aware that Ray is being used without his will and she does not like it. After then, a picture of Harding posing with Axe and Barry's illustrates the link that exists between all of them. After going through the motions one more time, Ray goes in search of Barry's while Harding and his team watch and appear concerned. In order for Ray to enter Barry's compound, he gives his permission for the troops of Barry's organization to take him prisoner. Harding, the others, and the surveillance cameras capture Wilfred Wiggins, who works for Barry's, handing over an EMP to Barry's so that she might use it on Ray if required. Before he can execute Barry's, Ray attacks and kills his soldiers, but Wiggins presses the EMP button, which knocks Ray down and turns out all the electricity within a 20-mile radius. Wiggins kidnaps Ray and shocks him with a powerful electrical charge in order to reawaken him. He confesses to Ray that he was basically forced to work for Barry's, but he insists that he still wants to be of assistance to Ray. He explains to Wiggins that he had the same memory, only this time the killer's face is different. As a result of the fact that this information is congruent with a report that Wiggins has heard about a hired murderer being deployed, Ray is aware that Harding has been engaging him to hunt down a large number of RST deserters. Wiggins believes that if he looks for Gina, Harding will simply reset his memory and place Wiggins's face on the body of the person who was murdered this time. Wiggins's theory is based on the assumption that Wiggins will find Gina. He is also aware that Gina is still alive. Wiggins is provided with a sample of Ray's nanite's blood in order to do an analysis. After taking a ride in one of Wiggins' vehicles for a while, Ray eventually finds the location of Gina's house. Despite the fact that he believes that they are still married, she is pleased to see him and expresses her happiness. Gina asserts that it has been 5 years since their last interaction, and that they went their own ways following the conclusion of their relationship in a mature and respectful manner. Ray is suffering from severe depression as a direct result of the fact that her ex-husband remarried and she now has 2 children of her own. Dalton gives chase to him as he flees, but Ray is able to have a truck crash into him, destroying his prosthetic legs in the process. Dalton continues to go after him. One of Harding's henchmen eliminates Ray, directs KT to go after Wiggins, and even deactivates her breathing device as a means of demonstrating how seriously he views the matter. He does this to show how seriously Harding takes the problem. After finding Wiggins, KT knocks him unconscious and then continues to massacre the rest of his men. When Harding locates Ray, he coerces him into taking part in a game in which he is expected to provide information about his company. He does this because he is aware that Ray is furious and that he is aware of the truth. He also knows that Ray is aware of the truth. Ray claims that he will no longer have control over Harding, but Harding portrays himself as having done what was required and what was advantageous for Ray. Ray asserts that he will no longer have control over Harding. Ray makes a solemn oath that from this point on, he will have no authority over Harding. His dead body is found at RST, which is the area where the nanites are being collected at the moment. When Harding got back to the office, KT informed him that Wiggins had left, so he decided to suspend the process of extracting nanite and send Ray to seek for Wiggins. KT told Harding that Wiggins had left the office. In addition, KT informs Harding that Wiggins has been taken into custody. The hostage situation is reenacted with Ray by Harding, but this time KT is present to step in and assist Ray in comprehending what is actually going on. Harding's goal is to get Ray to realize what is really going on. She confesses that in order to liberate herself from his control, she convinced Wiggins to cut off Harding's access to her implant, despite Harding's efforts to silence her. Harding's attempt to silence her is unsuccessful. The effort that Harding made to stifle her voice was fruitless. When Ray is finally able to come to and escape the simulation, he gives Dalton and Tibbs the mission of finding him and bringing him back. As Dalton follows Ray about, he eventually ends up getting prosthetic arms for himself. 3 individuals begin to fight in close proximity to an elevator at roughly the same time that one of them is attempting to bring order back into the situation. Tibbs is killed as a result of Dalton's attempt to demolish the elevator, but Ray puts out an incredible amount of effort in order to drag Dalton down with him. Both of them are injured in the collision, but Ray is the only one who emerges unhurt. He finds Harding in the street, where the villain is attacking Ray with a grenade, and he confronts the villain. Ray is rescued by him from the predicament. When it blows him up, he begins to heal, but Wiggins notices that the nanites are being drained. This implies that if he takes another hit, he won't be able to recover this time because the nanites would have been spent. Ray manages to grab the subsequent grenade that Harding tosses, and he then launches it deep into the target in an effort to avoid being hit by it. After seizing Harding, he tosses the grenade, which ultimately proves fatal for both of them. Wiggins finds Ray's body, revives him, and is able to successfully reprogram the nanites that are contained within Ray's body. The 3 mount their steeds and ride off in the direction of KT to continue working on their collaborative endeavor from the point where they last left off. Thanks for watching. For more videos like this, please subscribe, like, and share this video, and leave a comment with the name of any film you'd like us to review. We'll choose the film with the most likes and offer a shout out.